Welcome to 123 Minimize with Jody and Linnea, the podcast where we discuss easy minimalism for busy moms. Whether you're a new mom in need of practical decluttering tips or an experienced parent seeking simplified routines, you've come to the right place. I'm Jody, wife and full-time working mom of 4. In 2017, I founded the Minimalist Mom Facebook group, now with over 270,000 members. My passion is creating a simple, healthy, and happy home where my family can thrive.
I'm Linnea, a homeschooling mom of 4. In 2021, my family and I sold our house, downsized to a 36-foot travel trailer RV, and embraced minimalism. Living with less has been liberating, and I'm thrilled to share tips and experiences to help you simplify your life. Whether you're sitting down, getting stuff done, or lacing up your walking shoes, welcome to the 123 Minimize podcast.
In today's episode, we'll be talking about how to stick to your New Year's resolutions. So stay tuned for some insights and thought-provoking discussion. So Linnea, have you ever set a New Year's resolution and then failed at it, quit, or even completely forgot about it?
Absolutely. Almost every year. How about you?
Yes.
But we're not alone in that, right?
Absolutely. They say online that about 34% of all people fail before February, and 1 in 4 quit within the first week.
Ouch.
One statistic online says that only 9% of people see a resolution through to the end.
Wow. So I think this is a really relatable topic for a lot of people, especially people who are making new goals this time of year. Maybe you have made a new goal that involves minimalism, whether it's wanting to declutter your home or be more minimal with your finances. Maybe it applies to your health. But I have learned some things over the years that has helped me. And I would love to help motivate you if you are listening to this and you want to keep going with your goals for this year. I absolutely love making a vision board. Have you ever made a vision board, Jody?
I have not.
Oh.
The closest I've ever gotten is, a notebook or something.
Oh, yeah.
With lists
Yeah.
and why I want to do it and then how am I going to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a way to have a vision.
Yeah. So tell me about the vision board concept.
Yes. So if you have not already made a vision board, if you're listening to this, I highly suggest that you make one. Even if it's just really simple, you can cut things out, you can print them out, you can paste them on, or you can make a digital vision board that you keep on the wallpaper on your computer screen, wherever you will see it most every day. But just put your vision before your eyes. So if you are having a goal of decluttering your home, go and find some pictures online of rooms that are decluttered and put them on there so that every day you can see that and maybe write next to it why you want that. Maybe you can write less anxiety or whatever it is that speaks to you about why it is that you are on this new journey of minimalism for you and your family.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just look at it every single day and it helps steer you every day to make those small decisions that will drive you into that direction. So if you didn't make a vision board yet, do it now. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Just put some meaningful things on there that will help drive you towards that goal in your life.
Yeah. That's a great reminder that we can do it at any time of the year.
Yeah.
I know I've gotten to the concept of, it has to be January 1st to start something new. Or February 1st or March 1st, or it has to be on Monday.
Right.
Or, there's always I'm going to do this in a couple of days instead of I'm going to do it right now. You can start a New Year's resolution on, February 22nd at 3 p.m. It doesn't matter when you start. Right? Because I would go into that okay, I'm going to stick to a certain type of budget or whatever. But I'm going to do it on the 1st of next month. So now I have 2 weeks to buy whatever I want.
Right.
Or, I'm going to give up a certain food. Oh, but now I have 2 weeks to eat a lot of this food. Or I'm going to start exercising, but now I have 2 weeks to lay on the couch. And then by the time that passes, that motivation is gone. And I've completely forgotten about it.
Yep.
And also the feeling of, okay, January 1st, I'm going to do this thing. Whatever it is, like get a certain amount of steps in or drink water or do like a self-care thing or, keep a gratefulness list or clean an area of my house. If I didn't stick to it, it felt like that was it for the year.
Yes.
I can't do it.
Right.
It's
that all or nothing mentality.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. That is a very hurtful mentality, hurtful to your goals.
Yeah.
And I fight that mentality so often, the all or nothing. And I just realize it doesn't serve me. And so I've been trying to train myself to not use that mentality anymore, but just to realize that I can make changes anytime. Like you said, I don't have to wait for the perfect circumstances. And even with a vision board, like you can totally like take a whole Saturday, get together with your friends and have like a party where you cut things out of the magazines. But maybe you don't have that time. So don't let that hang you up. Like make a simple, fast one. Just take like 5 minutes. Take some screenshots of photos that you like, make a digital one, start there. And then maybe when you have time, you'd like to make one that you can actually print out and put on a wall and hang it up somewhere. Whatever works for you. But along with this, you can also revisit your why of why you want to become a minimalist. Why it is that you want to minimize your spending, why it is that you want to declutter your home. And we also do have a tool that we have on our website that can help you to discover your why for minimalism and get clear on it and make some goals. You can write in some financial goals, and that can also help to, maybe you can pull some statements from there once you go through the workbook and really define your why so that you don't forget. That's the whole point of the vision board, is to help you remember every day what it is that you are wanting to do to change in your life and why. That way, like times right now when a lot of people are falling off the bandwagon at the end of January or early February, you can help yourself by just going back to your why and looking at your vision board and reminding yourself why you decided it was important in the first place. And so what if you spent 2 weeks going hardcore and then you just totally fell off for 2 weeks? There's absolutely no behind at all. Like you can just start again. And maybe realize that wasn't a sustainable habit. Maybe you didn't create a sustainable habit that was something you can maintain going forward every day of the year. Right. So, and that's right. Maybe you started the year and you want to just do like a big push, but now you want to just go down to where you can maintain, keep your home decluttered throughout the year, not have to spend quite as much time on it. So maybe this is a good time to reevaluate the systems you used and how much time you put towards it and how much intensity, and find a way to create sustainable habits, new habits. Try out some different ways of helping yourself not spend as much. We did talk about this a couple weeks ago on our podcast about New Year's resolutions and finances. So if you missed that, you can go back and check that out. But we shared some great tips in there that might help you to start creating better habits. But the point here is to create sustainable habits. So if you don't have 3 hours a day to declutter your house, don't spend 3 hours a day. You're going to get burnt out really fast and then you're going to quit. And then where will you be a year from now? If you did that and maybe you got through it for a week or two, but you didn't really get through your whole house, instead look long term. Like what can you do every day? It might feel like not very much each day. You might feel like you're not making a lot of progress. It might take a lot longer to really notice the progress. But if you start creating new habits slowly in a way that you're able to maintain a new habit every day of the year, imagine what your house will look like a year from now, or your finances. If you were able to cut out extra spending and, save that money towards a goal you have, maybe it's a family vacation, imagine a year from now. Instead of looking at like this week only or this month only, try to have more of a long-term vision.
Right, absolutely. Even little bits of progress can make a difference in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah. We have the daily challenges, which can be intimidating in the beginning. On certain days, they do feel like, oh, wow, that area, depending on the state of your home right now, right? So let's take the garage for an example.
Yeah.
When that day comes around, people often say, this would take me a month.
Right.
Well, what time do you have? Do you have 10 minutes? Do you have 30 minutes? Do you have an hour? Set a timer on your phone. And you don't have to go through the taking everything out of the garage.
Right.
If it's not going to work for you for whatever, that might be too much.
Yeah.
But maybe just visually look through and take 10 things out that you don't need. You can donate them. You can properly dispose of them if they're broken, whatever. And just do that. Maybe you have an item number or a time set.
Yep.
And then just stick to that. And when that's done, your challenge is done.
Right.
You successfully did your garage.
Yes.
You know, maybe some other day when you have the weekend, you know, you could get the whole family involved and tear into it on a nice summer day.
Yeah.
But obviously in the winter, I'm not going to be taking everything out of my garage, laying it in the snow.
Right.
You know, it's not going to happen. But I might go in there and just do a check-in to make sure I'm
Yes.
keeping up. Nothing's in the garage that shouldn't be there. I'm not accumulating a lot of stuff. Just like that maintenance mode.
Yeah.
So even if you're starting out and you're using our free daily challenges on our Facebook page as a maintenance mode level, that's totally great. Because you know what? In a year, your garage is going to look better for it.
Yes. Absolutely. Right. And I love what you said about focusing on what you do have, the amount of time you have, or the number of things you can take out. And this is like, it kind of ties in with gratitude, right? So instead of being like, I want my garage to look perfect, and I want it to look perfect now because I'm sick of the way it looks. Like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to like just rip into something and get it done. But most of the time, we don't have that much time every day, especially to be going through our garage and making it look perfect.
And most of the time, you're not going to get it Pinterest perfect. You know, like when you go on Pinterest and you organize garage, and it's these gorgeous custom. I'm never probably going to have that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I really want to put that on a list of things I should have.
Right.
Because is that really important to me, or would I rather use my time and money in a different way right now?
Right.
So, one, not comparing yourself with other people's end goal. And just, like you said, this is what I have right now.
Right.
I have 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to use that towards this goal that I have. And every little bit will count.
And then being thankful.
Yeah.
Not only just for what you have, but even for that, the progress you make. I personally struggle with this a lot because I'm very much a list checker.
Yeah, me too.
And so if I get to the end of the day and I still have stuff on my list, I have a hard time with that. Yep. It's so easy for me to focus on what I had left on the list. But I've had to train myself to swap and do the opposite, where I focus on what I did accomplish and I just like end the day with gratitude for that. And it helps me feel successful. Otherwise, I'm ending the day kind of beating myself up. Oh, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And then what does that do? Like the next day, I'm going to be really unmotivated to do anything because I felt like a failure from the day before. Yeah. So it's the same thing. If you're looking at your garage and you still don't like it, but it's 10 items better, then focus on like being grateful for that and just keep going the next day.
Yeah. And, you know, that same concept can go with anything that you want in your life. Like, I have a sitting job, and so sometimes I'll want to go on a walk, and if I don't have time for a 45-minute walk, I'm like, well, if I go 10, it's still something. It's better than nothing.
Right.
The other option was nothing.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm giving up walking because I can't do 45 minutes every day. Instead, it's like, you know what? I went on a walk. Check. Done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not beating yourself up for what you couldn't do.
Right.
And just being grateful for what you could do and being satisfied.
Yeah.
There's a really great book that I've read called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in this book, he just talks all about creating habits, and he talks a lot about long-term, the same, you know, sustainable habits. Instead of like setting really short goals, you know, what happens is, okay, maybe you set a really short goal. This month, I'm going to get through my entire house. Well, maybe you do, but then what happens? After you reach your goal, your goal is done. You met your goal. So now what is going to happen to your house?
Yeah.
Versus you being able to set sustainable habits that you carry out through the entire year. What's your house going to look like at the end of the year?
Yeah.
If you create new habits about how many things you bring into your home and how you manage those things and how you maybe set up habits of regularly going through all the things you have to keep them to a minimum.
Yeah.
It's more about thinking that long term. So he says, success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformations.
Mm-hmm.
So you might feel really successful after 1 month of like real hard, but if you can't sustain it throughout the whole year, then is that really a success? Have you really created the life that you were setting out to create for yourself?
Right.
Versus setting, daily habits that you can create. So even though the reward is delayed quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
It's still a much better way of moving forward towards your goals.
Yeah.
He also says in the book that you don't have to be a victim of your environment. You can be the architect of it. I think that is really applicable to this topic. Not to just look around your home and feel like a victim. Oh, look at this, it's a mess. Like, I don't even know what to do, but become the architect of it. And again, you can join our free challenge. We have lots of tools to help you. We also have a membership group where we have extra support in there, and that can really help you with accountability and motivation to keep going as well.
Yes. And you can find more information about the membership group at our website, 123minimize.com.
Yeah. Yeah, because having that accountability is also a really key piece of continuing on with your New Year's resolutions.
Right. Yeah, if I have a friend or someone checking in with me to see how I'm doing on something, even if it's out of just curiosity and not accountability, I am more likely to stick to it, whatever it is, than if I'm on my own.
Yes.
Because I can just say, you know what? I can't do this. I'm done. Or, just have a hard day. Instead of like, okay, I had a hard day, a kid's sick or something. Of course, everything goes on pause. Not a big deal. You get right back to it when you can versus like throw that idea away.
Also in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about creating an identity. For instance, maybe you might look around your home and think that it's really messy and that you are not a clean person or you don't see yourself as a minimalist yet. But if you change your identity and start calling yourself a minimalist, then it helps steer your actions. And like, for instance, maybe a runner. Maybe somebody would say, well, I'm not a runner. But if they start identifying as a runner, then they can think, what would a runner do? Like, what decision would a runner make right now? Would they go for a run X number of days per week? What kind of foods would they eat if they're training for a race? So if you start identifying as a minimalist, it might help you to make decisions that you want to make every day. Because
yeah, like what would a minimalist buy?
Yeah.
Would they stick to the list or,
right.
Would they use those kind of shopping tips for minimalism that we have on our website? Or what would a minimalist want for their birthday? Or stuff like that. And so that you can really dial into what you want. Because it's not really about mimicking what somebody else wants.
Exactly.
It's about making it work for you and kind of being really mindful about the decisions you make to get to the goal that you want.
Exactly.
And because minimalism might look different for you or me based on how we see it.
Exactly.
In our lives. And that's okay. And that's why we leave some of this stuff broad, is we don't want it, minimalism for you might not be what it is for me.
Exactly.
And so there's a range of how to make these goals and this mindset work for you.
Right. Yeah. It's about having things in your home that bring you joy, or having a schedule that brings you joy, and not having things that bring you anxiety.
Yeah, or is a burden.
Right. And so that's different for everybody. Because certain things I might love to have in my home because they bring me joy, but someone else might just think it's in the way and it would bother them.
Yeah, right? Something I use every day might be completely unnecessary to somebody else.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's really social, they might want to go out with friends every single night of the week. And for me, that might be too exhausting. But both are right.
Yes.
They'll set up their schedule and their life to work with that. And I'll set up my schedule and my life to do something else. And both are correct.
So in Atomic Habits, he also was talking about, this whole piece of identity, and also how important that is to have that community, not only for accountability, but also it starts to help embed the new identity that you are taking on by being around other like-minded people.
Yeah, we have a large community on Facebook that's free called Minimalist Mom. It is over 270,000 people right now. So that can feel overwhelming or maybe too exposed for some people to share their challenges and everything in their life. So we also have the private membership group.
Yeah.
That isn't open to everybody. And we have information about that and how to sign up for that on our website as well.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link in the description to our Facebook groups and our website, as well as the book that you mentioned.
Another thing that ties in with gratitude is falling in love with the process and not always being so entirely focused on the end result. Because if you're waiting to be happy until XYZ, maybe in this instance, oh, I'll be so happy when my house is completely minimized.
Yeah.
Then you're not happy until your house is minimized. Well, why not find joy in the journey there and find ways to be thankful and have gratitude and be happy as you are going through the process. So fall in love with the process and allow, give yourself permission to be happy now. Even if it's like still a mess, like what do you have that you can be thankful for right now? You know, even if it's just your possessions or your home itself. And as you go through the process, continue to include gratitude daily on this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And another tip that I'll add is instead of setting a goal of, I want to get my whole house sorted through, maybe set a goal of, I want to keep up with the daily challenges in our Facebook group and on our page, or I want to do this for 10 minutes a day or an hour a day, or more specific, like I want to do it for an hour on a weekend, 10 minutes on a weekday.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the goal, if it's very specific about how you're going to do it, it's going to be easier to keep up with it long term than I want to get my whole house completely done. And in the moment, it can feel overwhelming.
Sure.
Especially if you dump everything out of your closet and drawers and everything at the same time and you're like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah.
Because the minute you run out of energy is when your bed is just piled high with everything in your house. And you're like, what have I done? Right. I want to put it all back. Why am I doing this? So little bits of it over time and having that be part of your goal.
I love that.
Tracking your progress can also be helpful. So taking before and after photos.
Yes.
Yeah. And, people are encouraged to share those in the comments below the challenges. So if you want like free accountability and you're okay with the really large group, we post daily challenges. You can interact with those posts. You can post before and after photos. You can keep that for yourself so you can see how far you've come. And it is so fun, actually, to see it months down the road. You're like, oh, I forgot that's how that room looked.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that at all. Look at what progress I have done.
Yeah.
So when you're halfway through the year and you are like, okay, I still have a lot left to do, you can see, well, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
And being flexible. So I'll give an example of if you're in a phase of your life where you're nesting, you're pregnant, and it feels really good, you're going to get all this done. And then you have the baby and you probably won't do anything for a few months. And so set realistic expectations and understand that life kind of requires you to be flexible and allowing that, okay, I'm flexible. This is what I've planned for. And whatever happens today or this week is just what we're going to do. Versus, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm just done. It's too much. So one thing that is a common suggestion for sticking to a goal or a resolution is to give yourself little milestone rewards.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So one way that we often reward ourselves is by purchasing something new.
Right. Which is kind of counterproductive with this this type of goal. Actually, have you heard of the Diderot effect before? It states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption.
I could see that.
So perhaps finding a different reward might be a better, healthier thing.
Yeah.
For someone who is trying to minimize their possessions.
Yeah. One obvious natural reward that I experience every day is how fast it is to clean the house.
Yes.
I mean, if we're home and, someone's coming over or we just want the house clean, it can easily be like 20 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on like how deep you're getting the house clean.
Mm-hmm.
But if everybody's working on it, it's not like we have that much stuff to put away. It's just putting the stuff where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so one reward with the more that you get done, the less chores you have really could be like a movie and pizza night with your family.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not really purchasing anything that's not consumable. Maybe you have a streaming service where you can get a movie without renting it.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the reward is just getting your time back.
Mm-hmm.
And so being purposeful with your time, so you're not just scrolling your phone on the couch, which is really easy to do when you're tired, but doing some kind of event where the kids are going to remember it down the road and you're going to just really like, this is what I do this for.
Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're extroverted, you can invite someone over and just feel like, all right, we got the house clean in 20 minutes. That was great.
Yes. Have some friends over. Yeah, that can be good too. Yeah, we actually have people over a lot more often than we used to because of that. It's not such an ordeal to have people over. We can get food made and the house clean after work, and then we can have people over. So
that's great. So if you are feeling discouraged right now, take heart. You're not alone. There's so many people that are in the same boat as you are right now, but you don't have to give up. Even if you feel like you've lost some of your motivation, just decide the type of person you want to be and then prove it to yourself with small wins. Start creating those sustainable habits. And, if you feel like you failed, maybe because you just aren't as far as you wanted to be with your goals this time of the year, just get back up and keep going. And like I said, maybe you need to rethink the amount of time you're putting into it or the methods that you're using for going through your home or trying to minimize your spending. Whatever your goals are, just pick up and start over and keep going. And if you really want that accountability, let us help you with that. Check out the free resources we have on our website. Maybe you want to join our Facebook group. And if you're really looking for that extra ounce of accountability, check out our membership. We would love to help you to be successful this year with your goals.
Yeah. We are excited to introduce the 2024 Minimalist Mom Planner. I don't know about you, but I love a good planner. It keeps me organized, on track, and motivated. We've designed this planner to keep you on top of your game and help you achieve your New Year's resolutions. Included in the planner are monthly and daily planner pages, our monthly Declutter challenge for the entire year, budget, spending, and buy nothing challenge trackers, weekly cleaning lists, meal plan, and even a little space for gratitude. Because let's face it, even the smallest victory deserves a celebration. You can download it now at 123minimize.com and make 2024 your most organized and stress-free year yet. And that's a wrap for today's episode about how to stick to your New Year's resolutions.
We hope you enjoyed delving into this topic with us and found a few tips that might help you on your journey. We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our amazing listeners for tuning in. Your support and curiosity are what keeps us going. For more tools and resources to help you on your journey toward a simpler life, visit our website, www.123minimize.com. If you found today's episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an opportunity to explore new ideas and perspectives. And if you're inclined, leave us a review, which helps to spread the word to others who might enjoy the journey too. As always, feel free to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram to share your thoughts, suggestions, or just to say hi. Until next time, stay motivated. Take care.